West Virginia Division of Natural Resources would like to remind hunters to stay safe while in a tree stand. Tree stands are used for hunters utilizing a bow or crossbow while hunting. According to W.Va DNR, Natural Resources Police Captain Warren Goodson, falls are one of the leading causes of hunting-related injuries. The DNR emphasizes the use of a fall arrest system like a harness. West Virginia DNR Sergeant John Casto says hunters should always exercise caution while in a tree stand.
The biggest thing is we have a lot of tree stand accidents. People get in tree stands and they don't harness in and they fall out. We have to do investigations on that, and we don't want to. We would rather people were safe and clip into their tree stands. A lot of people think carrying the gun up on their shoulder or their crossbow, climbing into a tree stand is safe, but we would like people to use a rope.
The West Virginia DNR recommends informing others of your location and letting them know when you plan on returning home.